So good afternoon, everyone. My name is Joffrey Benford. I'm the Director of Contracts here within BARDA CMA. You may have met me a little earlier today during our panel discussion on engaging with BARDA. First, to start off, I wanted to just kind of talk a little bit about the organization once I get the slides here to move. All right, so BARDA CMA is a robust acquisition office that prides itself on providing consistent, innovative, and flexible acquisition solutions in support of public health. As like all organizations that are high caliber, we have our core principles. Our core principles for operation are to streamline business practices. And when we think about streamlining practices, we think about our ability to leverage the appropriate procurement procedures and authorities with the hopes of really being able to drive forward the mission of BARDA. Our second core principle is embracing transparency. As an acquisition office within the federal government, transparency is key to how we do business. It really talks to our processes. It talks to how, as an organization, our acquisition professionals are efficient in what they do. The last core principle that really is the foundation of our organization is to maximize value to not only the organization, but to the taxpayer. As an acquisition office, we're very active. We have quite a bit of work that comes through our organization. Last year, we processed 890 plus actions, totaling $4.4 billion. That is a 20% increase in actions from what we saw post-COVID or pre-COVID. When we talk about our organization and we talk about where we are, we have to talk about what's next. And when we talk about what's next, we talk about our ability to leverage our procurement authorities. And the reason why that's been a theme for much of my discussions today is because that's important for how we do business. It's important for how we engage with our stakeholders, both internal and external. Also, what's next is we plan to learn from what we learned during the COVID-19 response. As an acquisition office, we learned that it was very important to have the right vehicles in play and to be able to operate efficiently and effectively as it relates to the execution process. Enhancing internal systems. When we think about that from an acquisition perspective, we have to think about our ability to really look at ways to be streamlined. How do we connect what we do with the industry, with the mission that we serve? And last, maintain industry engagement. That's why we're here today. Both myself and my staff are here today to answer questions from our industry stakeholders, to talk about what we do and the importance of the acquisition process and what BARDA does overall. Leadership. Like all organizations, leadership is important, but I want to specifically talk about our CMA leadership and how it encompasses over 50 years of acquisition experience. Myself, Joffrey Benford, Associate Directors Enrique Manan, and Associate Director Rosemary Hill. We are a group of leaders that believe in our people, we believe in our mission, and we're sound with our execution. Chief Contracting Officers. These individuals are the meat and potatoes of our organization. And the reason why I say it that way is when we think about execution, we have to think about the folks that are on the front line that are the facilitators of the work. Matthew McCord, Jeffrey Schmidt, Judy Williams, and Rosemary Hill are critical components to what we do every day. Without them, there would be no BARDA CMA. Without them, there would not be 890 actions processed and $4.4 billion executed. So I really want to specifically give kudos to the team and the leadership structure that we have. Get social, as they call it. Organizationally, we're available. We're here. We're open for business. The tone is, if you have questions, feel free to reach out to myself, Mrs. Hill, Mr. Manan, as well as our chief contracting officers, because we're here to help. Last but not least, thank you. And I know there's a few questions, so I'm here to facilitate any questions that may arise about what we do and how we do it. All right, so if there's no questions, that's a good thing. That means we're doing what we need to do. Acquisitions is important, and I know it's an opportunity today to really shine a light on our organization and our division, and that we're here to really service not only the mission, but to engage with you, our stakeholders. Thank you.
Joffrey, I was all settled in and comfortable, but you made that short and sweet. So good afternoon, everyone. My name is Tramel Faison. I'm Director of Regulatory and Quality Affairs Division at BARDA. Let's move. Joffrey, you might need your help here. This one? Okay, I'm going backwards. There we go. Okay. So we sit here, if you look under Medical Countermeasures Support Services Program, we sit under Dr. Linda Lambert. We provide a core service of regulatory and product support to all BARDA program divisions. So RQA mimics industry's organizational structure and is comprised of 3 branches: regulatory operations, and quality. Before I begin, I'd like to give one shout out to, because I had a slide up at our earlier session of my team in the division directors section. But I'd like to give another shout out to Nina Obadre, who acts as our liaison to other government agencies and assist in tackling complex regulatory issues. Nina and the regulatory team and the quality team will be presenting in a breakout session tomorrow about our work during public health emergencies. So this is our regulatory team. Our regulatory branch is led by Dr. Danielle Turley. It's our largest branch. As you can see, it's pretty big. And it's comprised of regulatory specialists with expertise in all areas of regulated product development. In 2022, we added 3 new regulatory branch team leads: Dr. Grace Chu, Therapeutics; Dr. Luna Zaretsky, Medical Devices; and Dr. Matthew Steele, Vaccines. Our regulatory specialists are a diverse group. They're about a 50-50 mix of federal employees and contractors who come from other government agencies such as CDC, FDA, and NIH, as well as from private pharma. The group has subject matter expertise in a broad range of subjects, including toxicology, vaccine development, chemistry, manufacturing and controls, non-clinical studies, in vitro diagnostics, and that's just a few of our subject matter experts. Each BARDA Project Coordination Team, or PCT, has 1, if not 2 members of the BARDA regulatory team, advising them from the onset of the project through procurement. Regulatory specialists provide regulatory strategic planning and guidance to MCM contractors and the PCT. They track product development milestones and review and comment on submissions to the FDA. Given the large, diverse, and unique MCM portfolio that BARDA has developed, one of the regulatory branch's main goals is to identify regulatory risk early, whether for a specific product or an entire program. They work with our industry partners in the PCT and FDA to mitigate those risks. So this is our regulatory operations branch. It's led by Sylvia Tresnick-Smith. And the regulatory operations branch is responsible for FDA submission preparation and management of BARDA-sponsored applications. The types of submissions that we've made include investigational new drug applications. We've done the BRIGHT study, B-Safe study in the past. They make submissions of non-clinical data under BARDA FDA MOU. They do pre-emergency and emergency use authorization submissions. This is the team that made the EUA submission for COVID-19 convalescent plasma early in the pandemic. They also do pre-IDE submissions, IDE applications. They manage our formal communications with FDA, and they do regulatory document management. In 2021, we obtained in-house ECTD, or Common Technical Document capabilities and publishing capabilities. So next up is our quality branch. They are small but mighty. Our quality affairs branch is the quality assurance unit for all of BARDA product development. They ensure that product development complies with regulations and guidelines. They oversee BARDA SOPs, compliance audits, and product acceptance of BARDA-procured MCMs. They develop and oversee policies and procedures to guide project support of the quality branch. And they interpret and advise on regulations, guidance, and best practices to assure the product support and relevant guidance is given to all their projects. And they provide audit services to assess and ensure the integrity of BARDA-funded work. So here's an opportunity for me to brag a little bit. Before the U.S. government could purchase and release any of the COVID-19 product, the RQA quality team must perform a review and acceptance. In 2022, this team performed review of the quality manufacturing, oops, I didn't go with my slide, of the quality manufacturing documentation and labeling for almost 600 million COVID-19 vaccine doses and over 23 million COVID-19 therapeutic doses. For the entire pandemic, they have accepted over 1.2 billion doses of COVID-19 vaccines. So I want you to think about that. Every COVID-19 vaccine that the American public has received was reviewed by our quality team. And they did this working around the clock, 7 days a week, with a turnaround time of 1 to 2 hours, and they've done this work for the last 2 years. And I was going to say, I think they need a round of applause. I think they need another one, right? So one of our goals over the last few years has been to increase our regulatory intelligence and surveillance footprint to give our partners and BARDA staff the most up-to-date advice and guidance. With the addition of our team leads that are assigned to each FDA center, we are becoming and having more frequent and in-depth interactions with the agency for our MCM portfolio. We just started a bi-weekly RQA newsletter and monthly lunch and learn educational sessions to make sure as BARDA grows, all of our employees are informed and knowledgeable about regulatory and quality issues. As we begin to refocus on our non-COVID activities, our quality team has resumed on-site audits and recently began good manufacturing practices quality system audits to assess preparedness for new contracts for pandemic influenza. And last, but certainly not least, we continue to have productive and successful collaborations with U.S. government partners from FDA, CDC, NIH, and DOD. BARDA RQA is the point of contact for the ASPR FDA Memorandum of Understanding. And we ensure that communications between our agencies for MC products are effective, transparent, and productive. One of the things that we've been working on in 2022 with our partners at CDC is the COVID-19 vaccines, adolescent, pediatric, booster, and variant work. We recently met with our partners at the Office of Laboratory Animal Welfare at NIH, and will be holding trainings for BARDA staff to ensure that all applicable U.S. regulations are followed by our partners. And we also recently had a successful meeting with FDA for AV7909 in collaboration with our partners from DOD. Our team has been hard at work with Graham and Bavarian Nordic on regulatory strategies to stand up domestic manufacturing capabilities for the Jynneos monkeypox vaccine. And these are just a few examples of the work that we do every day with our sister agencies to ensure U.S. government preparedness and response. What can RQA help you with? We can help you with designing your regulatory strategy, positioning your communications with the FDA, and coordinating discussions with MCM partners within the FDA. We help identify, as I said before, and manage programmatic regulatory risk, and We can consult with you on regulatory assessments. Our regulatory operations team can prepare and coordinate with FDA on pre-EUA submissions and pre-submissions, and consult with you for ECTD issues. And lastly, Quality Affairs can come out and give you a great audit and prepare you for FDA inspections and consult with you on quality-related risks for your program. So to wrap up, regulatory and quality oversight touches every aspect of medical countermeasure development, from before contracts are awarded, all the way through product approval and post-approval marketing. Our mission is to ensure that all the products BARDA develops are safe and effective. We are committed to facilitating the best communication and dialogue between all partners. We want you to benefit from our lessons learned and successes. We are all in this together. Your success is our success. Thank you. Do we have any questions, Stephen?
Thank you. We don't have any questions on the virtual chat, but are there any questions from the audience? For Tramal or Geoffrey? I guess it was crystal clear.
All right, great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. So I think we're done. We ended up a little earlier than an hour, so you guys have about 40 minutes of a break.